Force Fridays. I'm Adam Bartos, and today I'll be talking about how to create a better dealer network. Last week, Joanna Rotter talked about SaaS, or Software as a Service. That was our first edition of Field Force Fridays, and this is our episode 2. So be sure to tune in every Friday for these industry-leading technology whiteboard Fridays that we do as related to the field service industry. So as I said, today we'll be talking about managing dealer networks. So this is going to be a topic that's interesting to both OEMs, or original equipment manufacturers, or dealers. And part of why we're doing this today is 2 weeks ago we were at AED Summit in Orlando. And what AED Summit is, it's an industry-leading trade show where both manufacturers and dealers come together and discuss best practices, priorities, trying to build their dealer networks. There's a lot of great thought leadership going on down there. And so we had a lot of great conversations with both dealers and manufacturers about what is it that they're looking to do, what are their to-dos for 2015, what are some of their priorities. And we took away a lot of great conversations. And this is kind of what we're going to be covering today. Some of what we took away, some of from where our stance is at how you can do that better, both as a dealer and a manufacturer. Okay, so what's the big deal? It's no secret that manufacturers of heavier, complex equipment have super robust processes, technical products, very unique aspects of their business that they need to manage. And those dealers need to manage those for the manufacturer as well. They're representing the manufacturer at the consumer level, and they're doing inspections, repair, installations, all sorts of different service processes at the customer level that is of interest to the original equipment manufacturer. When you have the manufacturer creating the equipment, manufacturing the equipment, and then those dealers are selling that to your end users, there's a gap here in the service process. So you have your manufacturer who's selling the product to the dealers, but then the dealers are selling it to those end users, and they're managing the service contracts, warranties, parts, installations, preventive maintenance. So between the end user here at the bottom and the manufacturer here at the top, there's a gap. And that gap is the dealer network. So in our opinion, the manufacturer and the dealer need to be perfectly in sync. They need to be on the same page, and they need to be working together on how to establish those processes, because service is a major part of business for manufacturers and for dealers. It's a major revenue generator, not just sales, but preventive maintenance and future service contracts. So when it's such a big component of the bottom line and bottom line earnings, these two need to be in sync. So we'll talk about why. Now, think of that in maybe a more simplistic business model, professional sports. If you have a Major League Baseball team, and for this example, we'll say the Milwaukee Brewers, there's minor league teams that filter below them. Obviously much different than a manufacturer-dealer relationship, but we have the Milwaukee Brewers here at the top, and that's a baseball. And they have their AAA, AA teams below them, and essentially those teams are building processes to get to the major leagues. So coaching, training, rehabilitation, how they handle injuries, everything is, you could even argue it's a service-based model. They're working with the players to coach them up to the major league level. If our AA team is teaching players to swing at the first pitch every time, or be aggressive on the base paths, and then our AAA team is doing the exact opposite. Watch the first pitch every time, take a couple balls, be careful, be cautious on the base paths. Then we get up to the major league level, and they're coaching in an entirely different way. They want to be aggressive on the base paths, but they want to be smart at the plate. All of a sudden, you're filling your pipeline and your talent with disjointed processes, with disjointed coaching. And again, very different business model than heavy equipment, obviously, but the point is the same, that you have your customers who all have a similar need. They have service, they have repair, they have installations, and you're selling the same equipment, so why should those processes be different? If all of your dealers are on the same page here and reporting that up to the manufacturer, you can streamline processes, you can do things a lot better, you can synchronize your processes, and that creates a better experience for the consumer at the bottom level. So I'm talking about baseball, I'm talking about sports. You're probably wondering at this point if there's a point to all of this, and yes, there's a point. What we want to arrive at is the key to building an efficient dealer network is consistency, is synchronization across the manufacturers and the dealers. And you're probably asking yourself, okay, well, I'm a dealer, my business is much different than the manufacturer. I'm actually selling to the end user. And if you're a manufacturer, you're probably thinking to yourself, yeah, it's easy to say, but my business is way different than the dealer level. So how can we work hand in hand? It's a good point. You guys have different processes and different needs. But the beauty of that is that synchronizing those systems, synchronizing processes can solve problems for both organizations. And that's what we're going to talk about now. So what I want to review is the top 5 benefits from our perspective of creating consistency within your dealer network. So managing those dealer networks and the benefits that could help both manufacturers and dealers. Number 1, increased visibility and reporting. Now, at the dealer level, you want to know information about your service processes, about lead time, about your pipeline of service orders, when are we scheduling our preventative maintenance calls. All of those information, all of that data as it relates to your customer and your equipment in the field is very valuable to you. You want to know what you have in the pipeline, what you have to do, when you have to send your people out, and all of those true service-based processes are something that would really benefit the dealer, not necessarily the manufacturer. The manufacturer, on the other hand, is interested in reporting. So where are our best processes? Where is our best opportunity to improve? Where are we getting our most revenue? And so reporting from the dealer level is of great interest to the manufacturer because they know where that revenue is coming from. On the dealer level, it's that visibility in the managing the service process, so you can streamline that, do that more efficiently, and use a system to create those benefits. So one system across both can align those two interests and report to both dealer and manufacturer. Point number 2, building strong dealer networks. Last 2 weeks ago, as I mentioned, we were at AED Summit, and one thing that stood above all that we found out that manufacturers were doing there was building dealer networks. Why? Because they're trying to increase sales. More dealers, more feet on the ground, more sales, more revenue. And this is a way that you can do it very cleanly, very efficiently. If you're streamlining your systems at the manufacturer level and you're trying to build a dealer network, what sounds better? I meet a distributor and a dealer at this trade show and it'll take 2 years for us to get them up and running on our systems, or how about we just give them our pre-integrated, our already set up service system, and they can manage that process from the get-go. It's much cleaner, much more agile, and it allows you to grow at a much quicker pace. Think of that as in terms of McDonald's. You're probably wondering, why are McDonald's sprouting up on every street corner every 2 weeks? That's why, because they can just grow. They have set processes and it works for them. Number 3, intellectual resources. So you have a dealer network. I'm sure you attend different dealer summits and different networking programs with your fellow dealers. As a dealer, that dealer network is one of your biggest assets. You know what areas your product sells best into. You can co-market on things. You really can share thought leadership across your dealers. Same principle can be applied to software that you're using. So if everybody is on the same service software and you're mirroring each other's service processes, you can create that consistency and consistency of experience to the customer, to the end user, and make it a much better, much cleaner process for you as a dealer and for your other dealers. If you guys are talking on the same system and you know what each other's using and you're mirroring each other's processes, you're able to discuss best practices, maybe find ways to even better improve your service process, and sharing that common ground would benefit you as a network. And so that's of interest to the dealers and not just the manufacturers. Another big one, our number 4 point, is system integration. So if you have an accounting system or a CRM system, you have likely spent some time putting data into that, integrating it with other systems, matching it with your manufacturer. If you're the manufacturer, it's more than likely you have some kind of a dealer management system, and those are already up and running and you're committed to those. You've already spent a lot of capital on those. You have a lot of training. There's a lot of things that you have no interest in really mixing that up and changing that up. Consistency of systems at the dealer level and at the manufacturer level makes sure that those integrations can really only need to be done once. If you have a common system within your dealer network that you use, for example, for accounting, and you have a software partner, a field service software partner come on and integrate with that one system, all of your dealers benefit from that one integration. You don't have to recreate the wheel every time a new system comes on, every time a new dealer comes on. It's simple, the work's already done. All you need to do is customize it to their location and their dealership, and you're up and running. Fifth, best in breed partner. So if you guys are, as a dealer and as a manufacturer, partnering with a software provider, this gives you an opportunity to really partner with somebody who will develop an understanding for your business. So think of it in the terms of this map that we're showing here. You have the manufacturer, and the manufacturers may be looking for a service software that they can implement across their entire dealer network. So the process that will flow will be dealer number one adopts it, and your software partner will go on and say, okay, what's your business? Who are your customers? Give us some maybe custom forms and inspection processes that we can map. And they develop a competency for that first dealer. Number two hops on, and they're getting pretty good at it. They're rolling it out. Maybe dealer two has a couple unique processes just to their location, but a lot of the work was already done with dealer number one. So they can build on that for dealer number two, implement quickly, and by the time dealers number 3 and 4 hop on, that software provider has become really an expert on your business model, and they can just roll it out without asking the same questions, without too many extra pain points. 3 and 4 are benefiting from the initial rollout and from the manufacturer explaining that business model. So having one partner who truly understands your business rather than having 4 different partners here, all who are trying to learn your business, maybe not as well as they should, that can save you a lot of heartburn down the road by just having everybody on the same page and making sure that you have one strong, best-in-breed service partner who truly understands your complex business. So where are we going with all this? I mentioned before, you've probably heard the term recreating the wheel. I know you have. If you're doing that, which you probably are as a manufacturer, as a dealer network, stop. Don't do it. It's causing more problems for you than it's worth. Have one of those best-in-breed partners work with you, streamline your dealer network, make sure everybody's on the same page so your consumer experience is the same across the business. That will work its way up to manufacturer, increase sales, increase revenue, increase service revenue, and all these things benefit the entire organization. So consistency is the key word for today. You want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. You have a network of strong dealers that you work with already. Why not enhance that with your service software and your service processes? So that's all I have for today. Thanks for joining us this Friday. Next week, you'll be meeting with Josh Casambo, and he'll be doing our 3rd edition of Field Force Friday. So once again, thanks for being here. We look forward to talking to you again. Have a great weekend.